Well, how y'all doing? This is PawPaw again. Good to see you. Good to see you. Company sent this metal detector to me, and I wanted to show it to y'all. GOYOJO is the manufacturer in China. It looks like it's a model GYJ as in GOYOJO-T01. And I gotta tell you, this is a whole lot different than the one that I had as a kid. I mean, this thing has got all kinds of settings on it, all kinds of discriminating features. You can tell it what kind of metal you're looking for. You can tell it to ignore other metal. You know, one of the big things back in my day were pull tabs off of a soda can or beer can. Pull the tab, pitch the tab, and then you get that little piece of aluminum laying out there. Ain't no telling how many pull tabs have been dug up by metal detectors. Anyway, this allows you to bypass those. So that's an awesome feature right there. Before I put it together for you, I want to tell you the one thing I find negative is that it does not include its batteries. You have to buy 2 9-volt batteries for this thing to work. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Something this expensive, they ought to spend a few more pennies and include a couple of cheap 9-volt batteries, just so when you're excited you get it in the mail and all that, and you forgot to order batteries, then you know you're disappointed because you can't go right out and play with it. So I wanted to get that out of the way. GOYOJO, if you're listening, include 9-volt batteries, and then everybody be happy. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to install those batteries, and we'll be right back. Well, I've got the batteries snapped in. While I'm thinking about it, I do want to tell you that they recommend that if you're not going to use it for quite a while, to take the batteries out of it, you know, so you don't get the leakage, you know, protect your equipment. And that's true for any electronic device you may have or use. You want to make sure that you disconnect the batteries. Okay. Next step is to assemble this thing. It's got a nice thing that goes on your arm right there. It's a Velcro, or help reduce some of that fatigue. But I want to tell you what, this thing is lightweight. It's very, very light. One of the neat things is this requires no tools to assemble. It's got them little push buttons, little spring-loaded push buttons that snap in place. So that's cool. And let's see. Then it's got this rod here. Now this is where you adjust the height, how long or short you want this, depending on how tall you are. Oh yeah, that'll reach on out there. And then the pickup coil or head or whatever you want to call it, it has for lack of a better term, it has a plastic bolt. And all you do is just take the plastic nut off the plastic bolt. Make sure you turn it the right way. Boy, I have a hard time screwing left-handed. Now, for those of you that's never had a metal detector, I tell you what, there's a lot of things that you can do with these things that you don't even think about. If you're a plumber or an electrician, you can search for a galvanized line in the ground. Electrician can search for power cables, underground wiring. Another thing it's really handy for is finding your property markers. You know, like they drive a little steel rod in the ground at the corner. This metal detector helps you find it, especially when grass has grown up around it, sod has gotten thick, and you know, I know that property marker is here somewhere. And all I'm doing, people, is just assembling this little thing here. And it only took a couple of minutes of looking at the instructions to see how it goes. Actually, it's more or less just looking at the photograph of how this thing's put together. I like this big what do they call it? What do they call that? They call it a search coil. Well, I do like, that's a nice size one there. I hope that the wiring is all the way around it, not just in that middle section. We're going to find out here in just a minute. I'm going to lay some coins down. We're going to try it. Okay, it says to initialize this thing, before you turn it on, you want to stick that thing up off of the table away, so it's just out in midair. No metal objects around. And it goes through its beeping cycle. Alright. Now I'm going to, or I'm not going to make this thing discriminate. It has iron, nickels, pull tabs, S-cap. I don't know what an S-cap is. Maybe y'all do. Pennies, dimes, quarters, 50 cents, and silver dollars. It's got sensitivity that you can adjust, and they recommend setting your sensitivity to 5 to 6. Ooh, I don't want to do that. Let's see. I don't want to. All right, so this gives me a 2-digit target ID number. I got the sensitivity up pretty darn high. All right, I have maximized the sensitivity. And because I'm hard of hearing, I turn the volume up. You can also plug a set of headphones into this, the little 1/8 inch jack. All right, so let's go see if we can detect some. I'm going to set this to all metal. This is saying iron. And what if I broke down a pallet and I thought I had pulled all the nails out of the boards before I run it through my planer or my saw? This will let me know if there's any nails in there. Heck yeah. Turn its sensitivity down. Well, it sure picks up them nails. That tells me this will be good out here in the driveway where I do all this work on these things. And oh. There we go. So, if you think you might like to get into the hobby of metal detecting, or just want to have a metal detector handy for whatever project you may have going, check them out, see if it's something that appeals to you, and if so, give them a holler. Like I said, this is adjustable, so you can make this, if you don't want to reach out real far, you can set it where it's shorter. I like it out far so I can make my big sweeping motion. Y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
There's a dime. There's a nickel. There's a quarter. And there's a penny. Okay. So let's see how this thing does. Okay, so we're going to try to find the penny first. And the chart on this thing actually says a penny. That's pretty cool. All right, let's try a quarter. It says it's bounced around between a dime, a quarter, and 50 cents. But it's definitely picking up that there's a coin. I can't get it to read 10 cents. Probably because of the copper in it. Maybe if we were looking for a silver dime, huh? Anyway, I don't believe there's any wiring on the outside here. See, pick up the nickel. You don't pick up the penny until you get the coil, the inside coil closer. I don't know. Anyway, this thing is bouncing all over the, hard for y'all to see it, but the display it's bouncing all over the coin, you know, telling me that it's a coin. So that's cool. Of course, I don't have the sensitivity all the way up. Let me try that. Okay. I've got the sensitivity all the way up. What's my opinion about the GOYOJO metal detector? It's okay for a toy. This is not a high dollar item. I wouldn't want to pay more than $40 or $50 for it. It did tell me that I was reading coins, but it couldn't tell me what a dime was. And it was hard for it to, well, it's just hard in general for it to tell me what kind of coin I was trying to look at. So if you're interested in a depth finder, you can get one. You get one at a fairly decent price. Check them out. GOYOJO. I'll have the link right after the video, or right down here. I'll put the link. Let's see, right here. Right here's the link. In Amazon, I also put it in my description box under the video. Y'all have a wonderful day and a better tomorrow. Bye, everybody.